everybody, Jesse here. Welcome back. And in today's episode, we are going to make it to where we can drag a building into our level from the editor right here and make it so the rest of our relevant BPs that need to know about it, in our case right now it's the game state, will know what's going on and set the building and do what it needs to accordingly. So sit back, relax, grab your mouse, load up your editor, and let's get this thing rolling. Alright, yeah, so like I said, in the last episode here, we went and we finished setting up the construction branch, most notably this little sequence of nodes right down in here in the last episode, and the last probably about 5 episodes. Really, I think it's probably been about, 5 episodes that we've been working on this behavior tree, trying to set this all up to get to the point where we're at today. And it's been a little bit of a long process, but, you know, that's how it goes. And hopefully you guys are learning from it and enjoying the videos. But yeah, we set the rest of this up. If you haven't watched any of the previous episodes on this, you're probably going to get a little bit lost in today's episode. So just go ahead and check those out first and then jump right into this one. All my videos build upon one another. All right. So yeah, let's, we got the assign worker here. There is one thing up here I want to go ahead and change real quick. I've named all the nodes to try to make them relevant, so I want to go ahead and rename this node right here something to a little bit more noticeable. Let's go ahead and call this the occupation check, right? That's the service it is. And while I'm up here, I see a major boo-boo. Have any of you guys caught it? You see what it is? Oh, right there, occupation type. That's one of the variables right there. It's set to self-actor. It does not need to be self-actor. It needs to be occupation type. All right, so phew, that would have been a bug. That probably would have been hard to figure out. But yeah, always make sure you try to set everything as you go through. Hopefully I didn't miss any more in here. If I did, well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into your main editor right here. Go ahead and select your blueprints, open level blueprint. All right, so we got a blank slate right in here. So let's go ahead and right click and do a begin play. Now this process is actually pretty easy because we've done some work to help us out with this. So first we need a variable. Let's go ahead and call this one game state and make it of type game state, my game state reference. Okay, let's go ahead and drag this out and we'll set it. That'll be the first thing we do in here is we set this. But the way to set it, let's go ahead and get game state. Let's go ahead and cast it to my game state. Right click it. Let's make this a pure cast. And then just plug that in right on in there. All right, now we need to get all actors of class. Fortunately for us, because of our parent-child hierarchy, everything is a building master BP, and right at this point, that's all we're worried about. If there's other things in the future that you want to worry about, the rest of the game doing, like if you want to know all the NPC that are in the world and set them to whatever you want to do with them, then you could do the same thing here with this. And this is just begin play. This is non tick. Remember, you don't want to set this class on something that's going to tick, that's going to be called a lot. Something like a begin play or something that's only going to be called every now and then that's what you need. But because of our super class here of the building master, we can select that, and no matter what it is, whether it be construction or an apartment building or whatever it is, it will know and it will get every single one of those. All right. And like with most arrays, what you want to do is you want to iterate through them. So let's do a for each loop. Pull that in here. Now it's going to go through every one we have in the world, whether it's 1 or 1,000. It's going to go through all of them until it's completely empty, and it's going to go by one. So we made this process pretty simple for us. Back here in the game state, in your custom game state, we have this custom function we built called add buildings to game. Originally, we set this up to where when we construct a building, when the NPC go and finish constructing a building, it calls this function and sets it up in here and puts it, whether it's a residential building or it's an occupational type building, it sets it into whichever one we need. And so that's all we need to do with this one. So let's go ahead and grab our game state. drag that in here, drag off this, and do add building to game. Awesome. Hook that up, take the array element, plug that into the building. So now everything that we've set in the world, it should automatically know about it, put it in there, and we could do what needs to be done. Now, in your level blueprint, I don't know why, but there's only a compile button. There's not a save button. So always make sure you push Control S when you're working in your level to make sure that you save it. And that's all we need off the gameplay. That's all we need for really any of this right at this point. So we can cross our fingers and go ahead and give this a shot to see if this is going to... Oh, wait. I guess we got to put a building into the world, right? So now we got to come down in here into your blueprints, go into your buildings, commercial. We're going to place the construction office. So just drag and drop your construction office BP into the world, right? Now remember, my world scale is at 50%. The meshes that we have provided to you are full scale, full 100% scale. So what we need to do if we're placing anything in the world like this is we need to adjust it, because when we spawn these, via the ghost spawning and all that, it's automatically setting it at 50% scale for us. So what we need to do placing this in is just scale it manually, 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. There we go. Now that fits our world. If you're not doing 50% scale, if you're doing 100% scale or 25%, whatever it is, set those in there. And then the other thing to remember too is our rotation that we have in the game in our controller. Everything's set at 15-degree angles. So if you don't want your building facing like this and you want to try to keep things as consistent as possible, rotate this, but keep it on whatever you set your rotation angle at, minus 15 degrees if you did 30 or 45 or 90 degrees. Keep it at that if you want to rotate it. So I want to rotate it here on the Z axis. I'm just going to make it face us right now so we can see, because this is the same direction that we're going to spawn in the world when we play the game. So let's do minus 90 degrees. And don't worry, it doesn't set it exactly at 90 degrees. I don't know why, but it's awfully close enough. And then just drag it wherever you want. Here's the player start for us. So let's zoom in here. There's a player start for us. So I'm just going to set it right here. So when we start, it's going to be relatively close to us. So let's go ahead and make sure we save it. Okay. And yeah, cross your fingers. Let's press play. All right. And of course it started in the other monitor for us. Actually, let me go like this. Let's load up the behavior tree real quick so we can kind of watch this as it goes. We don't have any NPC in the world yet, so we can't really see much going on. But yeah, let's just kind of place this right here. And press V, and let's spawn somebody in here. Now you can see we set it up to where they're going to move to the random location at first. So let's speed him up here. And he went and he checked for a job, and he should have found a job. You can see right here as a construction worker. And we're moving all over the map right here. You can see he's set to a construction worker. And the behavior tree moved. So now we're over here. Quit moving. There we go. Now we're over here. And he wants to move to location, but he's not. Okay. So now we need to debug this. We need to see what's going on here. And let's just go up here and hit pause. We'll see where it's at. All right, so why isn't he moving? Let's look over here. Let's look at, make sure we have everything set. Target location, destination, current location, and location type is office, because we're trying to move to the office. And it's hitting this one. He's stopping movement. Okay, so this one should only run if the destination, let's see, it loops infinitely. And then the only time we want to run this stop is if does location not exist. In other words, we got the inverse ran here, so that's right. So it's checking destination, destination, that's right. So why is it jamming up right here? Ah, look at that. Destination, none. So it doesn't exist as far as this concerns. It doesn't exist. So it's locked out right here. Okay, so now we need to figure out, let's go ahead and stop it. Now that we know the problem, for some reason between these two nodes, the destination wasn't getting set. So most likely, I think that's going to be right here in the move to control, in the move to task. Okay, so I think where it is, remember we set this up, it looks like here, because we're running off the office, we want to check the office right in here. So I'm thinking, because remember at the end, after we successfully move, we take the destination, which right now we're running at none, setting it to current location, then we're clearing destination. Well, it's obviously not even getting to this point, because if you look back a second ago, the current location was also failed out. So I think the problem here is we're not setting the destination anywhere. So what we need to do, and actually, no, none selected. We don't need to do it off none selected, because if none selected, that means we're setting the target location and most likely setting the destination in that as well. So right now we just need to worry about the office and correctamundo. We do not have any destination. So let's go ahead and grab our destination. Let's get it. And then let's set value as object. Straighten this up a little bit here. And then just plug in the execution. Plug that in right down into there. And the destination we need to set is the entrance right here. Right? No. Destination needs to be off of the main building. Yeah. It needs to be off the main building, not the entrance. The entrance we only use to get the vector to set the target location. So let's go ahead and pull off of this. And then just plug that right on in. Set in a couple reroute nodes just to make it nice and organized. Cool. Compile. Save it. All right. Let's go ahead and try this again. Press play. And we can only see part of the map, but that's okay. Let's jump back out here real quick and hit our behavior tree. I wish you could push play from inside the behavior tree. You can pause it and stop it when it's running, but all right. Anyways, let's go ahead and drop somebody in here. All right. So we know it moves to this point. Oops, sorry about that. Moves to this point, right? So they get their values. Random point. There we go. So now our occupation check switched. Cool, we're not jamming out there. They're going right up there, and they're going to work. Sweet. So now they're there. Now what? Okay. Well, first thing I notice here is whenever they go to a building, we want them to go invisible. So we're not doing that right here. So let's go ahead and actually we'll get that in a second. Let's see what else is next. You can see everything just kind of jamming out right here. That's where we're stuck at. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this a little bit further. We need to make sure that they're going to go and even work. So let's go ahead and we'll just grab another construction office here. Rotate it however you want. And let's place it in the world. Let's see if they even go to work. And they're not going to work. Okay, so why aren't they going to work? Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Move this off to the side. All right, so what's going on here? Assign worker job. It's coming down here and it's clicking on that. So we need to figure out what's going on with that. Current locations. Construction office is not busy. Destination, target location. Let's open this up. Grab our debug here and see what's going on. We could see that kind of spurting off here. So assign employee job. It's coming through here and it's running false. Job assigned. So we need to figure out why the job is not getting assigned. Let's go ahead and open that up. And it's coming from actually the construction office BP. So let's go ahead and open that up and see if we can't debug construction office. Go into assign employee a job. And it's failing out in here. It's coming in, which means this is failing right here. So current job is null employee. So one of these is failing. And let's see which one it is. Right click. That's not in scope for some reason. Let's right click this. Not in scope. I don't know why those aren't in scope. I hate that. So find employees. I don't think we can watch that variable. Let's check this. Watch this value. Not in scope either. Not in scope. Okay. So either the current job site is failing out, or he's not an employee of the building. So let's see if we can, I don't know if we can check those values. Let's check. No, we can't do that. Oops. All right, we can't do that. Sorry, I still got the game running in the background. So why is it failing out right there? We need to be able to see. Okay, let's just go ahead and stop this. Right, let's go back through this chain. We know assigning a job. We know this is failing, and it's failing at the construction office. So let's go like this. Let's just run a print string. Print. And take your current job site and just plug it into there. Right, like that. We'll get the display name. So now if there is a variable in this current job site, it's going to get right here. So if we're not getting anything off of this, then we know it's going to be from the employees because one of these is failing out. Okay, so let's go ahead and play it. Grab my game window here, drop this back in, and let's go V, drop them in here. Try to speed this up a little bit. Okay, now they've got the job, or they got a job, they're there. Let's just place this in the world. So now we should see something pop up in the screen. So, okay. So we know that it knows about the job, but for some reason it's not giving them the job. So that would mean that this part is failing out, right? So then it's not finding the employee. So let's go like this now. Let's go ahead and delete that. And let's see what this is pulling out. Plug that find in there. Let's just make sure that that should be coming up -1. If it's failing, it's coming up -1. So let's go ahead and push play. Drop them in here. And we'll just place another construction building in here like this. Speed them up. Yeah. Find a job. Come on. There you go. All right. See what we see up here in the screen? -1. So for some reason, we are not being set as an employee when we get there. So let's see what we can figure that out. Let's go into, where would the place be for this? Check for employment. Right, we come in here, we check for employment. Because this is where the chain where everything comes in. Check for employment, hire employees, so we get available jobs, hire employee, NPC. I think we're forgetting that right there. All right. So I think what we need to do right here, and I'm just going to check on my cheat sheet. For some reason I don't have that set on here, but I know my main one works. So let's check that. And yep, just like I suspected. All right. And seriously, I didn't know about this bug because this bug was not in my cheat sheet project. So I didn't know about this in advance. So you guys truly did get a nice debug lesson there. Plug that in like so. And cool. So now we take the, because we're in the NPC BP, all we did was follow that chain of events that happened right there. So again, let's walk back into here. We knew it was failing out at checking for employment. We came in here, check for employment, and we came into the hired jobs because check for employment took us straight to the NPC BP. All right, so yeah, the reason why we knew about that was because of assign employee job. We ran the print strings off of the construction office in here. So we found that it was failing here by running the debug filter. Knew it was failing out. We could see the path in here. It was kept hitting false, which means one of these was inaccurate. We ran a couple print strings on there. So now we can go ahead and delete those print strings. So now we should be an employee of the building and everything should be pretty good, right? Compile it and save it. Let's go into our NPC BP, compile that and save that. All right. And we got an asterisk right here. Let's go ahead and push start and save our level. All right, cross your fingers. Let's try this again. All right. So let's just make sure. I'm going to move this off to the side again real quick so we can go to our behavior tree. All right. Cool. So we don't have any NPC going yet. So we know all that works right there. Let's kind of slide this off so we can see, and I can get this screen back over here a little bit. All right, press V. Drop somebody in the world right there. Cool, put in another construction office. We still got to fix them hiding. See, they're not hidden when they go to their place of employment. Cool. So now he's got his job. He's going over here. He's going to work on that. Let's speed this up a little bit. Let's see if we can drop another person in here. 2, 3, 4. They're going to wander around the world randomly. Try to find, of course, they probably won't get the job and over here before it's done. But that one did. There it is. Head over there, see if she can help it out. Got our nice little proxy going on, or a little progress bar going on right there. And they're all going to go and help. Cool. So get that done. Sweet. Are you going to go back? Are you going to go back? Who is that? Why aren't you going back? Ooh, let's see who that is. Let's see why they're not going back. Go like this. And go like that. Like that. They're jammed out right here for some reason. Okay. Destination does not exist. So, looks like we're probably going to have to put... Let's open this up real quick. So, receive, execute. It's coming in here. Stop movement. Finish, execute. Maybe we should make that a fail. I think we should make that a fail or an abort. So, I don't know if that's... I don't think that's a problem, because, I mean, it will be in the future, but it's not a normal problem. It was just a happenstance glitch that happened right there, but obviously it can happen. So, all right, let's go like this really quick. We are getting up there on time a little bit, and I thought this was going to be a little bit shorter of an episode, but we had some debugging to do. So, anyways, we need to make it to where they're invisible when they get to where they're going. All right. Currently, the only time they went invisible when they reported to shift. All right. So in here in the report to shift, you could see we got set actor hidden in game. You know, I think the way I'm going to handle this is I'm going to delete this, or not delete that. I'm going to delete that section right there. So now the way it's set up, they're not going to hide when they get to when they report to shift. So they're not going to be hidden at all. So let's compile that and save that. And what I think we're going to do is come out here to the move location, to our task in the behavior tree, move to location, doesn't matter which one you click on. And let's just add a new variable right here. And let's call this one, let's call it should be invisible. Yeah, that's what I called it there. I knew I had a good name for it. Sorry, it's late at night. Normally I do this in the morning, but it's late at night. So should be invisible. Hit enter, and let's go ahead and set it as editable. All right, so now let's just go over here, and at the end of the AI move to success, let's just add a set act. Where is it? We need the pawn. Grab the pawn, put him in here. Set actor hidden. Oh, just go hidden. It's late. Set actor hidden in game. There we go. Got that in here. Now what's going to decide if they're hidden or not is that variable we just did. Just drag and drop that in there like so. All right. So now what we could do, let's go ahead and compile and save this, is we come back out here to the behavior tree, and now that's exposed. All right, we've got 3 move to tasks in here right now. So this first one, we don't want them hidden. They're just finding a random spot in the world. So we don't want them to be hidden. You can see right here, should be invisible, false. It's defaulted to false. So that's fine. We don't want them invisible when they pick a random spot in the world. But we want them invisible when they go to a random spot in the world, or when they go to their office, excuse me. So go ahead and select should be invisible to true there. And then same thing here when they get to their construction site, once they move to job site rather, that should be true as well. Save that out. And that should be it. Like I said, we had that small bug in there. I don't know what I should do with that. We need to fail this. we probably need to have a way to abort this as well. Controller, this probably should abort. I don't know if setting that to false, I don't think we're going to even be able to really test that behavior. So let's just go like this. There's one other thing I want to test here. So we press 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 NPC. Remember, we set the total jobs up here to 4. So all 4 of these guys should be able to go get a job, which we pretty much know that they will because, well, we just watched it a second ago. So let's speed 5. All right, there's a job, 2, 3, and they went invisible. Notice they went invisible. 4, cool. So then we come back out into here, and let's set another construction office. You know what? We didn't set them to go revisible, right? So let's go. I just shut that down real quick. Let's jump back into the behavior tree now. Let's go back into the move to task, right? So what we need to do here is when they start moving, where did I set that here? Oh, no, I did set that. Okay. Sorry, I had to look at my cheat sheet. Right here before we call them to move, let's just do set actor hidden in game. Right here, just plug that in like so. All right, so there. Now, right before they move, they'll go new hidden is false. So right before they move, they're going to go through all this and they're going to set themselves visible. Then they're going to move. Once they successfully moved, it's going to set their visibility, whether we set that variable true or false. In the case of moving to the office and the construction job site, it's going to be true. So it'll set them hidden again only after success of the move. All right. So let's go ahead and compile and save. Let's play that again. Let's give that a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speed this up. Yeah, see, there's a few bugs in there, but really not too bad right at this point, right? I mean, we did a whole lot of work without ever testing anything. 2, 3, 4. Cool, so they all got a job. So before I place a construction site real quick, let's do 5. Let's put a 5th one in here. Let's see what happens to her. All right, we'll give her a minute, see if she's going to find a job. All right, doesn't look like she's found a job. So let's go ahead and grab another construction office right here. Place that in the world. There they go. Visible, 1, 2, 3, and there's all 4. They're all going to go work on it. She still can't find a job. All right. See, she still doesn't have a job. Still doesn't have a job. Come on. There we go. She found a job. Sweet. I could tell with that sense of urgency. All right. 2, 3, 4. All right. Let them find this job real quick. Now let's just do one more test, even though we've tested this before. This is pretty much it. So all I want to do now is, all right, cool. They're going to find the job. Of course, I didn't have to wait for them to find a job or not. But now, remember, we set this up distance-based to see who's going to get the job. All right. So let's set it closer to this one. See if they get a job. We'll set an apartment complex over here. And of course, by default, these guys will get the job. Even if we put it over here, those guys are going to get the job because these guys are busy. See? Perfect. Now they're going to go work on that. All right. Well, that's it. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned something. If anything, maybe a little bit of debugging. You know, I try not to have errors when I do these videos for you guys. But debugging is kind of a difficult thing to do if you don't know how to do it right. Print strings are your friend. You saw that one of the first bugs we had. We threw in some print strings, and God honest truth, that bug, I did not know about that bug because I didn't set that bug, or I didn't have that bug in my cheat sheet program. So I didn't know about it. Yeah, I did know about a couple of the other bugs like the invisibility. I knew about that. But yeah, I didn't know about that other one. So yeah, you guys actually got to see me do some debug there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do me a favor, go down and hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe while you're down there liking it. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will not spam your feeds. And until next time, peace.